All right, what's up? PTM, prop the mic here.
What's
How
up?
are we? How we doing?
I wish you all could just witness the pre-show. The pre-show is sometimes more entertaining than the show itself.
Usually it is. It's
Usually.
we need to do like some outtakes or something
Yes, like somebody
behind the
falling off
scenes.
chair. Cool.
What's going on?
Oh, I was watching a little Euro basketball this morning.
Yeah, anybody you know playing?
I saw a man who looked just like Goran Dragic.
Yeah.
And he had the name Dragic on the back of his jersey.
Uh-huh.
And I come to find out that it's his brother Zoran Dragic.
All right.
Who played like a couple minutes in the NBA, apparently. Didn't know he had a brother.
Yeah. Well, at least they're brothers. You have the other one, the Bogdanoviches, which are not even related at all, not even like fourth cousins, and they got the same name. So
yeah, this one made sense, at least.
Goran, Zoran, Doran. Yep.
So what do we got today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games.
Yeah.
Sounds like every day is like 6 or 7 games, which quite honestly, I prefer that over the 10,
13
11 games.
10 games. Yeah.
Those are a lot to sift through. But yeah, we got some good ones. We got some stars out today, so that's certainly going to impact some of the lineups.
Yes.
But let's dive into it. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. First game, we got the Sixers at the Cavs. If I read this correctly, the Cavs are getting 2.5 points at home. 222.5 is the total. If you remember the last time these two teams played on the podcast, I called this the matchup, the Eastern Conference Final matchup, until you reminded me that the Celtics and the Bucks are in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah,
and I backed off of that bold statement.
Yeah, and the Bucks look like, at least right now, I think they're the team. I think.
Yeah, they're certainly the deepest team.
Now that Middleton's getting seems like he's rounding into form. They're in good position, I think. Yeah,
he's looking good.
Yeah.
All right, so the first game, I don't have the scores in front of me, but I know that each team that played at home won, and won by a decent margin. So we'll see what happens tonight in this game. But who do you like in terms of matchups, if anybody?
Yeah, this is definitely the matchup or the game today with the least amount of matchups to target. The only two that popped out for me on the Cleveland side were big/power forwards going up against Philly. So that's Mobley. You can look at him, and then combo/shooting guards, which is Mitchell. I can look at those two guys, but I didn't find anything that I liked. On the Sixers side, same thing with Cleveland. Only two things that were popping to pay attention to here. Anchor bigs against Cleveland, which is Embiid and Montrez. And then big/power forwards, which is Tucker. So those front court guys. The only one I was kind of feeling here was Embiid.
Okay. Which
points? 31.5 points. It's high, I know, but he's done this in 4 or 5 overall, averaging 37, last 6 of 8, averaging 36. Pretty good matchup here, but definitely not my favorite play of the day and the only thing I was able to find from this game.
Yeah, I was looking at Embiid as well, partially because there weren't a lot of players available when I was doing my research. But he hasn't had a lot of success against Cleveland, which makes sense, right? They got a lot of depth at the center position. He had 19 points back in November and 29 points back in February. So I would personally lay off of his points line, even though he's been hot. I was looking at 2 other stats on Embiid. One was his assists, a play that you've played before.
Yep.
2 games against Cleveland, he had 6 assists in Cleveland and 5 assists at home. And his line is 3.5. And he has had 7 across this line in 7 of the last 10 games.
Okay.
So good recent trend and good historical performance against
Can
Cleveland.
can I guess the other one?
For Embiid?
Yeah, for Embiid.
Yeah, go ahead.
To have 1-3?
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't do that.
The reason I'm saying it, he's done this in like 19 of 23 road games this season, which is pretty crazy. Including his last road game, he had 4 threes against Minnesota, and 2 games before that, he had 3 against Milwaukee. But all right, what was yours?
Well, let me just state, even though I said I don't do that, I did look that up, and I didn't like it because he's had 0 threes against Cleveland so far this year. Yeah. What I thought was interesting on him was stocks, as they call it, steals and blocks over 2.5, which is generally a high number, but plus money, plus 100 for 2.5. He's done this in 7 of his last 10 games, and he's had 3 in each matchup against Cleveland. And his last 3 games against Minnesota, Portland, Washington, 4, 5, and 5. So, yeah.
Interesting.
But I don't love that stat. There's a little element of luck in that, especially the steals. But anyway, that was kind of what I had there.
All right. Yeah, not a game to go super heavy on. So
yeah, good game to watch. But not a great game to go crazy on props. All right.
Yeah, I will mention though, with Allen out, it does lead me a little bit more to this Embiid points, right? I mean, they're losing a lot of rim protection there.
Yes.
So yeah, just to point that out. But
good point. Yeah, might not be bad. I didn't do this, but just looking back at last season, see if there were any games where they played, because they had fairly similar teams other than Mitchell.
Yeah, they did. That's true. The first before the trade deadline, before that trade happened. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, and just see how that went.
Yeah.
All right. So next game, we got the Grizzlies at the Heat. The Heat are -4 at home. Total is an ugly 220. Grizzlies will be without Morant tonight, and apparently for 8 more games.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Handed a suspension for flashing the gun.
Apparently, he's already completed his counseling or whatever. I thought I just got a message yesterday that he was checking into counseling, but now apparently it's already completed. So I don't know what kind of counseling that was, but
yeah, I have a feeling I know what that was. That was just like a retreat that he went to, and you know, some psychiatrist.
Let him play out a little bit longer. I mean, like, what are you accomplishing in 2 days of counseling? But
no, generally therapy takes like years, not minutes to set. But anyway, he's just a kid and he just made stupid decisions. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you like in this game?
All right, a few things popping out here. Going up against Memphis, you have secondary ball handlers have been doing quite well as of late. I think part of the reason for that is with Ja out, now you have Tyus Jones playing more minutes with your primary ball handlers, and the secondary ball handlers, who on the Heat are Victor Oladipo and Gabe Vincent, are able to score more because of that situation. So that's something you want to look at, but there's not lines out on either of those guys, but I'm definitely going to dig into both of them. I would look at points and I'd look at threes for both of those guys.
Okay.
The other nice place to target Memphis, especially lately, has been with your bigs. Stretch bigs, versatile bigs, big centers, both points-wise and rebounds. Just to note, I have it right here. I don't have them broken out individually, but big centers since the All-Star break are averaging 38 points and rebounds against Memphis. So that puts me on 2 plays. Bam, over 27.5 PR, -110. I didn't dig into a ton of history here. I don't think there's much to go on. Really playing the matchup, and like this one is just sticking out like a sore thumb. It's like by far and away the best matchup, especially since the All-Star break, to target bigs in.
We have to have like the lowest success rate on Bam though this year. I have to say
it hasn't been good. Yeah.
It hasn't been good.
Though the day we went 10-0, I did have a PR for him, and he cashed.
Yes, yes. No. I mean, we've definitely hit, but we play him quite a bit because his lines are always tempting. But
yeah, I know.
I agree. This is a good matchup. If it doesn't hit, you still made the right play. I think it's a good play.
If you want one guy at the same position who's going to play less minutes but has a much lower line, Kevin Love, over 13.5 PR. He's done this in 5 of 6 at home since joining the Heat, averaging 14.5, so clearing it by 1. And the matchups are also just popping off. So points and rebounds. He's classified as a stretch big. That's one of the best matchups in terms of scoring against Memphis. And then in terms on the defensive side, he's an anchor big, and he's big slash center, both top 2 or 3 matchups rebounding wise against Memphis. So let's go with those two guys.
You know what's really interesting about Love? I was looking at him too.
Mm-hmm.
So he averages in the last 10 games, he averages 12.7 minutes in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And 8.9 minutes in the second half. Why? Is he not a closer? Is that? It's interesting.
Yeah,
right?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you don't have a ton of sample size, so I don't know what was going on in those.
No, I mean he plays 20 minutes every game. It's pretty consistent, but the distribution between first half and second half maybe just runs out of gas. So I'm going to dig into that a little bit more and just see if there's a way to take advantage of that.
A little edge,
edge, because he definitely plays
first half.
Yeah, definitely plays more minutes in the first half. All right, cool. I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Nice.
I actually love it.
You love it. All right, he loves it. He loves it.
Love.
All right. Did you have anything on Memphis side?
I did not.
I got one for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So movement shooters have been a great place to target Miami, both in terms of points and threes. So that's 2 guys on Memphis. That's Desmond Bane and Luke Kennard. I wanted to find something on Bane, especially with Ja out, but I couldn't get there. I might do a little bit more digging, but I think Kennard's getting extra run without Ja in there to some extent. His line is 6.5 points, minus 120. I'm really just playing the matchup here and against Miami. He's done this in 4 straight games against Miami, including 11-7 this season and 23-12 last season. So I'll go with your Duke Blue Devil in honor of March Madness, Luke Kennard, over 6.5 points. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, he scores most of his points from outside the 3-point line, so I would like 5.5 better than 6.5. But
yeah.
But that's fine. What about Santi Aldama? Any excitement about that?
I would look at him. He's not a huge rebounder.
Points.
Oh, just points. I didn't really look at it.
So let me just give you a little stat on Santi. So last 8 out of 10 games without Ja, he has cleared his line of 9.5 points.
Wow. I was looking for somebody that played well when Ja was out. Here's your guy.
Yeah, the 2 games where he did not clear, he had 8 and 9, so it came pretty close. One of those games was against Sacramento. He only played 14.3 minutes. The other one was against the Clippers, who are good defensively, 19.7 minutes. Last 4 games, 26 minutes, 29 minutes, 22, 21. He's a good outside shooter. Could easily nail a couple threes. I'm trying to see what he's other than the last 2 games against Dallas, he just drills threes.
Look at that.
So I think he's a good play.
Dude.
I'm going with Santi.
That's nice, man. I might even like that Santi to have 2 threes. That might be something we could get interested in today.
2 threes. Right. Yeah. Not bad. All right. Cool.
Very nice. Nice find. Good work.
Yes. Sometimes you just come up with it right in real time.
Yep.
All right, cool. Next game?
Yep.
Kings at the Bulls. Bulls are getting 1.5 points at home. It is kind of the theme of tonight. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the 7 games are home dogs.
Dogs.
But this one's nice, 235.5 points. So what do you like here?
All right. This had a lot popping off, especially on the Sacramento side defensively. They're just like not. I mean, they're like, it's crazy how they're like the number one offense by far, and they just defensively they're garbage.
And that's why they're fun to watch.
Exactly.
They score a lot and they give up a lot, right? That's
Exactly.
like the best combination from a fan's perspective.
Yeah. So one guy that was popping quite a bit here is Patrick Williams, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So athletic he's an athletic finisher. Great matchup against Sacramento. They're averaging 18.7 points when they play 20-plus minutes since the All-Star break. So that's pretty good. He's also classified as a wing stopper on the defensive end. I like this for rebounds. Averaging 19.5. Sorry, this is PR. That was 18.7 PR. Wing stoppers averaging 19.5 PR against Sacramento. And that's not with 25-plus minutes. That's only with 20 minutes, which is better gauge for Williams since the All-Star break. So his line's 12.5 minus 120. He's done in 6 of 10 overall, averaging 14. 6 of 10 at home, averaging 14.6. And he's played 3 games on 3 days rest this season. You want to know what his PR output was in those 3 games? 28.
Hold on. 16 and 19.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh? To pull it up. Yeah. That's very good.
So I like that. Great matchup for him.
Good. Good. Yeah, he's always good for I'm just looking at his. Oh, no. He's been pretty quiet on steals. I always liked playing his steals, but I would stay away from that. That doesn't look good. Okay.
You also have, this looks like a great spot for Zach LaVine as well.
Yes.
Yeah, is that what you had?
That's what I had.
I just take that
points.
one then. Yeah, points.
Just points, 6 out of his last 10, 4 out of his last 5. So when you cut that up, most of that's been recent. And he had 41 last time he played Sacramento. So monster game.
Yeah, love that. Great he's two great matchups as a primary ball handler. It's a great matchup as a wing/shooting guard. It's a great matchup. Got love LaVine today. I got one more on the Chicago side that was also popping here. Alex Caruso. Okay. To have 1-3 is minus 190. Okay. But I also like him to have 2 threes. So just listen to what we got here. So for 1-3, he's done it in 8 of his last 10 home games when he plays more than 10 minutes. Okay. Just more than 10 minutes. And 6 of those 8 times he had 2 made threes.
Wow.
So like the 2 made threes, he is a stationary shooter. When stationary shooters play 20-plus minutes against Sacramento since the All-Star break, they're averaging 2.7 made threes. When they play more than 25 minutes, they average 3.7 made threes. So he straddles that line, depending how the game's going. He may or may not get there minute-wise. The same thing kind of holds true for his points here. So his line's 6.5. This one is plus 105. He's done this in 7 of 9 at home when he plays 20-plus minutes, and he's averaging over 9 points per game in those situations. Stationary shooters with 20-plus minutes are averaging 13.3 versus Sacramento just since the All-Star break. And when they play 25-plus minutes, that jumps up to 16.7 since the All-Star break against Sac. So that is what I like.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
I love Alex Caruso. It's my favorite.
One of your faves? Good defense.
He's one of your faves, but
yeah, he is.
I do like what they've done on the Bulls, with Caruso and now Pat Bev. I think they got a little extra toughness on that team.
Yeah, I think so. And they've been playing that way too. So if I just jump over to the Sacramento side of the ball here, not a lot was popping off for Chicago. I was pretty surprised. Scoring wise, I was very, very, very disappointed. I just need to let you know this. I did my prep last night, and Trey Lyles was jumping off the page in terms of matchups in this game. And then I get a tweet this morning from Woj that he just got suspended for this game because of the beef he got in with Brooke Lopez the other night or something. So
yeah.
Anyway, I have one
did you
on
a
this
favor.
side. What?
Probably did you a favor.
Yeah, you're not excited about a Trey Lyles play.
No.
This is kind of weird, but I don't know. A lot of signs pointing to yes here. So Harrison Barnes over 4.5 rebounds.
Okay.
So he's done this in his last 7 of 10 on the road, averaging 5.1. He's done it in 4 straight on the road, where he had 6, 9, 8, and 6. So some nice recent history. But the reason that what got me here in the first place, stationary shooters averaging 5 rebounds per game against Chicago since the All-Star break. Forwards/small forwards averaging 5.3. And wing stoppers averaging 5.8. All since the All-Star break against Chicago. Those are all 3 of his positions, all averaging over 5 rebounds per game. So let's do it.
Okay. All right, let's go. We got to pick up the pace.
Right.
Got Lakers at the Rockets. Rockets getting 3 at home. Total is 231.5. AD is out of this game.
Okay. A lot of good matchups here. I couldn't land on anything major, especially on the Houston side of the ball. The only one I liked was Kenyon Martin over 14.5 points. He's done it in 6 of 10 overall, averaging 16.5. 8 of his last 10 at home, averaging 16.2. On one-day rest this season, his last 10 of 13 on one-day rest, averaging 15.5. Last 2 times he played the Lakers, he had 17 in both games. And wings/small forwards, averaging 19.4 points per game against the Lakers when they play 25-plus minutes since the All-Star break.
Okay. All right. And then on the Lakers side, anybody?
On the Lakers side, yes. Off-screen shooters, one of my favorite categories here because there's not a lot of them. Malik Beasley's one of them. And against Houston, off-screen shooters on the season, just because there's not a lot of these guys, so you got to kind of look at the season as a whole here, averaging 28.8 points per game against Houston when they play 25-plus minutes. So his line's 15.5, minus 125. Also, wings/small forwards, averaging 21.1 against Houston since the All-Star break. So nice spot. He had a nice game the other day against New Orleans. So let's go with Malik Beasley. And then I like D'Angelo Russell. This is a high line. 3.5 made threes, plus 105. Oh, you were on it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. He's played the Rockets. This will be his 5th matchup against the Rockets, right?
Yep. 6
1,
last
4,
7, right?
4, and 6. Yeah, I'm just looking at this season, but seems and with AD and LeBron out, like who else is going to shoot the ball? It's going to be those 2 guys. They're just going to be jacking up threes all game.
Yeah, that's it. They've against the best team to jack up threes against. So let's do it. A little Beasley Russell 3-point parlay might also be nice. But he's also great on back-to-back. His last 2 back-to-backs, he had 7 and 5 made threes. So we like Russell here. So all right,
I agree.
Keep going.
I do also think Rui Hachimura could be a good play here. I was on him last night. I know we didn't have a pod, but I like his consistency on points and rebounds. I don't see a line out for him yet, but it's been coming out somewhere around 11.5. I assume with AD out, he's going to get more run. He's extremely efficient though. So I think if his line comes out 14.5, something like that, and he gets 30 minutes, that's an easy cash. So,
all right, I like that.
All right.
Let's keep going.
Yep. Celtics at the T-Wolves. T-Wolves are getting 5.5 at home. Total is 233.5. Rob Williams is out.
Yeah. All right. A bunch of matchups popping off here. Maybe the most out of any matchup today. Surprisingly, Boston's been a little lacking defensively.
Big time.
Yeah. But this could have my favorite play of the day, I think. On the Boston side, so going up against Minnesota, You have a nice matchup here for primary ball handlers, which for Boston is Malcolm Brogdon. You also have a nice matchup for in terms of rebounding for the positions that Brogdon's classified at: point of attack defender, combo / point guard. So I like his points and rebounds line. It's 18.5. It's -125. He's done it in 7 of 10 overall, averaging 21.3. But when you look at the games without Rob Williams, he's done in 8 of 9, averaging 24.4. Then if you look on the road, his last 8 of 10 on the road, averaging 23.4. In games on the road without Rob Williams, his last 9 of 10, averaging 21.2. And what I liked about this, primary ball handlers versus Minnesota are averaging 26.2 PR since the All-Star break, playing 25-plus minutes. Yep.
I like that.
Yeah. That was all I had on the Boston side, but you have plenty of other good matchups here too. You know, I definitely don't sleep on Tatum, White, Smart. But.
Yeah, I had one matchup for Boston, or one play for Boston. I like Marcus Smart over 1.5 steals at plus money, plus 105. He's done this in 5 of his last 7 games, and if you look. Just trying to pull it up. I didn't have this number, but yeah, Minnesota is the 3rd worst team in steals allowed. Only teams that are worse than them are Houston and San Antonio. And oddly enough, they are worse at home than they are away. So they give up 8.4 steals at home, and they give up 8 steals away. So I think this is they're going to cough up the ball quite a bit, and I think Marcus Smart is the guy. The only 2 games in that 5 of 7, the only 2 games where he didn't get 2 steals were against the Knicks, who are a pretty good ball handling team, and the Hawks, who are also fairly good at handling the ball.
Yeah, I'm looking at recent. You have a nice matchup here. Point of attack defenders against Minnesota, averaging 1.7 steals per game since the All-Star break. You got DeJounte Murray in there with 2. You got Dorian Finney-Smith with 3. You got DiVincenzo with 4. Yeah, this is a nice one. I like it.
Yeah. Trying to see if there's any. Even Kevin Huerter had 2 steals on March 4th. So I think it's nice. Let's go with that.
This is good. Yeah.
All right.
Nice
what do you like on the T-Wolf side?
T-Wolf side. So you have 2 nice matchups here. So one thing to note, Anthony Edwards is not popping anywhere. So I would I'm not fading Anthony Edwards here, but I'm also not playing him today. So, I mean, I'm not like betting his unders is what I mean. But I like.
I am now.
Yeah.
After that statement, I'm going to go take a look at that one.
All right. I like Gobert here. Rebounds. It's a nice matchup. The last 2 out of 3 times he played Boston, he had 12, 11, and 12. So just straddling it there. He's done this in 7 of his last 10 at home when he plays more than 18 minutes, averaging 13 and a half rebounds. So really playing the matchup. He's been up and down, but seems like he's been playing better lately.
I also saw Naz Reid is questionable for the game, I think. So
yeah, that would be good.
Would
Keep
only help that, right?
Yeah. And then one other little one, Kyle Anderson over 6.5 rebounds. Playing the matchup here. He's a big / power forward, averaging 12.3 rebounds per game against Boston since the trade deadline, playing 25 plus minutes. He's done this in 6 of 8 overall, averaging 7.3, 7 of 9 on 1 day rest, averaging 8.2. So yeah, good spot for Kyle Anderson here.
Yeah. There's a lot of metrics for him that look good. I was looking at his points as well. But I think his rebounds is a really good play.
Yeah. Nice. All right.
Good. All right. Moving on.
Yep.
We got the Luka-less Mavs going up against the everybody-less Spurs. I think the Spurs were like, you know what? Let's pencil this game in. We're going to get blown out by the Mavs. And then they figured, then the Mavs don't have anybody playing either. So the Spurs might end up winning with their backups. But anyway, the Spurs are only getting 5 points at home. Totals 227. I don't even know if Kyrie's playing in this game.
He's questionable. Yeah.
Yeah. Were there any props out for this game, or?
They just started to come out. Yeah, I actually have two for this game, one on either side. So I was originally had my eyes wide open because Jeremy Sohan was popping quite a bit, but he's out today. But a guy who shares some categorizations with him is Keita Bates-Diop. All right. So
say that 3 times.
Keita Bates-Diop. I like his point line here, 11.5 points, minus 125. He's done this in 7 of 9 without Sohan, averaging 13. He's done this in his last 5 of 7 without Sohan and Vassell, averaging 13.3. He played without Sohan and Collins once on just a few days on March 5th. He had 17 points in that game. And the reason I got on this in the first place, he's classified offensively as an athletic finisher. They're averaging 13.5 points per game against Dallas since the All-Star break.
Nice.
Yeah. And this undermanned, he's going to log minutes for this depleted San Antonio team. And then just real quick, Josh Green, over 16.5 points on the Dallas side. He's done 4 or 5. What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 4 or 5 without Luka, averaging 20.8. That's all I got for you.
Yeah, 29, 14, 17, 21, and 23. So, and I would say the last 3 are probably the most relevant sample just because, some of those were earlier in February before Kyrie was on the team. So, yeah, he's a good play, I would say, even for 20 points.
Yeah. I like that. The other one I wanted to come out was, I don't know why there's no props out on Jaden Hardy yet, but he would be the other one for Dallas, especially if Kyrie doesn't play. But even if he does, I like Hardy here as well. It's a good matchup for him.
He was on fire the other day.
He was on fire, yeah.
Against Memphis, and they still couldn't.
I know.
They still couldn't win. All right. You got the Warriors at the Clippers. Clippers are minus 2.5 at home. Total is 237.5. Is this the game where the Warriors break out and start to, play like playoff Warriors? Is this it?
I don't know. I don't like that it's on the road, right? They've only they have been horrible on the road this season.
Yeah, so, but that's the last piece of the puzzle for them. If
I guess
start winning on the road, they'll be in good shape. But don't underestimate the absence of Wiggins the whole year. Yeah. Right. He's been probably played 20 games the whole year.
It's crazy. I know.
Well, he was hurt, and now he's dealing with a family issue. Yeah. So once he's back, they're a whole different team, I think, too, defensively. Yeah. So, all right, who do you like here?
All right, a few here so I have 3 guys on the Clippers side, and they're not Kawhi or Paul George.
That breaks my main rule. Right? Don't play Trey Mann. And your play is Trey Mann.
Trey Mann, baby.
He actually was the streakiest player on props.cash. I saw today.
Really?
In terms of the longest streak. We'll see if you picked up on that prop, but go ahead.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Trey Mann, 7.5 points, minus 125. Athletic finishers averaging 10.3 versus Golden State when they play 20-plus minutes since the All-Star break. He's on 3 days rest today. He's cleared this in 5 straight games on 3 days rest, averaging 13.5 points per game when he's on 3 days rest. And you have a 5-game sample size there. His last 2 out of 3 against Golden State. The most recent one, he had 5, but 2 previous, both this season, 16 and 17. So nice matchup for him. So let's put a little nugget on Terrence Mann here. The other guy I like.
His rebounds and assists, I think, was the prop that was standing out.
One?
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to see. Yeah, he had 11 rebounds and assists against the Warriors last time they played, and the 3 times he's played the Warriors, 7, 11, and 8. And his line is 5.5 RA. So that could also be, but it's hard to look at historicals without digging into whether or not Kawhi played or George played or whatever. So, but go ahead.
All right. The other guy I liked here was Eric Gordon. Two plays on him here. Threes and points were both popping for secondary ball handlers, averaging 2.8 made threes per game against Golden State since the All-Star break, playing 25 plus minutes. So I like him over 1.5 threes. He's done this in 7 of 8 since he joined the Clippers, 4 of 5 on 3 days rest, and his last 3 of 4 against Golden State.
That's kind of his game these days, right?
Yeah. Okay. And then I also like his points. This one was plus 100. It's 11.5 points. Again, secondary ball handlers averaging 15 points per game against Golden State since the All-Star break, playing 25 plus minutes. He's done this in 2 of 3 against Golden State this season, 16, 7, and 14. And his last 3 of 5 overall, averaging 14.6. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with the threes here.
Yeah, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You said 7 out of 9? Is that what you said? Or 7 out of 10?
For the threes?
Yeah.
7 of 8 since joining the Clippers, I have here.
Yeah. And, okay, 7 of 8 since joining the Clippers. One of those games, he only played 7 minutes. The one of them that he missed. So, so he's 25 minutes is kind of the bottom for him. He could go up to as high as 33. So I like that a lot. I think that's a great play.
Yeah, that's a good one. And then one last one. You have nice matchup here for big/centers. So not Zubac, but your boy Mason Plumlee, 7.5 points. He's done in 4 of 6 at home since joining the Clippers. He's done in his last 2 against Golden State, both with the Clippers, 12 and 8. He's done this in 2 of 3 on 3 days rest. He had 17 this season, then 2, but he only played 17 minutes in that game, and then 15. So pretty good when he's got that extra rest. And bigs/centers averaging 15.5 points per game against Golden State when they play 20 plus minutes since the All-Star break.
Yes, very tempting. It's hard to know how many minutes this guy's playing now. He plays 14 minutes some games, 29 other games. He's all over the place. But yeah,
it's tempting.
His last 5 games are pretty tempting.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And then do you have anything on Golden State?
No, I mean, as a general statement, these two teams are also horrendous at handling the ball. For the year, the Clippers are the 5th worst team, so 2 spots behind Minnesota. And Golden State is the 7th worst. So I really wanted to find a opportunity for steals on either side, but I didn't find anything. But let me know if you
no steals. But I do have 2 guys. So I liked Draymond had a nice matchup here. I like his points, 8.5 points. He's done it in 6 of 10 overall, averaging 10 points. 7 of 10 on the road, averaging 11.2. He's done it in his last 4 of 5 on the road without Wiggins, averaging 12.6. And his last 3 straight against the Clippers, where he had 11, 15, and 9. So nice matchup for him here for sure.
Draymond over, right?
Over. Yes, over.
I love Draymond.
He'll be calling me out later.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
For not betting
that
the
just
under.
means you're bad at betting.
You're bad at betting. Yeah, you're bad at what you do. Cool. What else?
Just one other. So you also had a nice matchup here for big/centers, which is there's only one on the Warriors. That's Kevon Looney. I like his points here, 7.5 points, -120. Big/centers averaging 17.1 points per game against the Clippers in 20 plus minutes since the All-Star break. His last 3 games against the Clippers, 11, 11, 9. So he plays the Clippers really well. And then he's done this when he plays more than 20 minutes, which I would expect that he would here. He's done this in 7 of his last 10, averaging 9.5.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. The only
Poole is popping, but I can't find anything for him. Find something for Poole.
The only thing I had was Curry rebounds. Let me know what you think about that.
Dude, that was my other play that I decided not to do. I love it.
Yeah, 5.5 rebounds.
Dude, all right. I'm on it.
You like that a lot?
Yeah, I had it all written. I ended up deleting it, but I had it
Well,
all
why'd
written
you
up.
delete it?
I don't know. I don't know why. I just went off it, but yeah, it's good. He was popping for rebounds, and yeah, now that you're on it too, now I like it.
Yeah, and what's interesting, let me make sure I'm stating this correctly. At home, he's averaging 5.5 rebounds, but away, he's averaging 7 rebounds.
That's right.
So he's a much better rebounder on the road. So I think this will be a pretty good play in this game.
Very nice. I like it.
All right, good. Nice to finish on one that we were both on.
Yeah. All right. Well,
all right.
We'll post them up on Twitter and enjoy the games later today. Nice work.
Yeah, absolutely. And enjoy a little March Madness tomorrow, starting at noon.
That's right.
Get your brackets in.
Yeah, I know. I got to do that.
Bye.